Hey everybody, it's day 105 of the $1,000 account challenge, and today in the account we are up $829 or 1.97%. Our total portfolio balance is $42,892, and we're going to keep grinding. I want to review the trades that I took today. One on PayPal, another on PayPal, and one on AMD. The AMD trade wound up resulting in a loss. So let's start off with the day trade watch list. Right off the day trade watch list, PayPal was a long idea this morning, over $68, and I put / the pre-market high because I wasn't sure if AMD was going to keep pushing in the pre-market. We had a gap up day on PayPal. We had a gap up day on PayPal that was a positive news catalyst, causing the stock to move from the previous day's close to the opening price. It actually dipped quite a bit right before the open, about 1%. All right. Long idea above $68. Why? Because that is going to be your pre-market high or pretty close to it. So long idea at 68. We put a trend line there. We're on the 1 minute time frame here, going over back into the Discord server. I want to go to the alert room and show you the call outs for this. We're going to start here, loaded PayPal long, no position yet, and I give you the contracts. 2 minutes. 2 minutes after market open. Why would I say that? You know that I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. That's a rule of mine. But what did I see here? First minute, PayPal, before market even opened actually, PayPal drops. The first minute drops even further and then gets bought up. Second minute goes big green, pretty close to $68, right? That right there was enough confirmation almost right away for me to recognize that the news catalyst was something that was going to cause this stock to push higher today. So I stayed patient. You know, I don't trade in the first 5 minutes, but I recognized that within the first 2 minutes. And that is why I said, loaded PayPal long, no position yet. I'm still going to wait the first 5 minutes, but here are the contracts that I'm giving you. So we get the move up to the trigger level at $68 on PayPal. It rejects the first time, as expected, right? The second candle up after the rejection totally pushes back up, totally retraces that entire move down. That for me was even further confirmation that PayPal was wanting to push and ready to push. Okay, so number one, we had the positive news catalyst. Number two, the opening drop gets bought back up. Number three, this drop after rejecting the trigger level gets bought back up, and I go long on the very next minute. So that's at 9:36 a.m., 9:36 a.m. PayPal dip getting bought here, took a small entry to start. Here are the contracts. Here is my fill price. So again, they're just those exact same contracts that I give you up here. They're re-mentioned here. Okay, starter size, not going heavy while this is still under the trigger. I had no idea if this was going to push, and then I give you my stop loss at 67.4. So go long on this. I am green right away, and then back to break even, red-ish. I kind of got a good entry at the bottom of this candle. And then the next is just, following through. It was very easy trade to manage. We got the move back up into the high of day, and then the next candle up even further into the high of day, and that was a 20% gain. So at 9:39 a.m., I said, PayPal, you're up 10% here. You can hold or take profits. I'm going to hold. I was also trading AMD. We'll talk about that in a second. And then 9:39 a.m., PayPal now at 130. That's close to 20%. I took profits there. Okay, and good thing I did because it came right back down. So that was the very first entry on PayPal, and that's the reasoning why I took the stock long prior to the $68 trigger level break. We had those three positive confirmations, right? The news catalyst, the opening drop that got bought, and then this drop that got bought right back up following the rejection of the trigger level. Now let's talk about the second entry. It fell to the trigger, should have actually held it as support. I thought it was going to hold as support, and then it rejected, and came down, and I was like, man, this is not what I expected PayPal to do today. This is a really interesting move. I thought for sure it was going to give us a continuation, but I'm watching this for another dip entry long, and it starts to move back up. So at this time, 9:47, I have to show you this on the 5-minute time frame. This is why it's so important to trade with multiple time frames and not just one. On the 5-minute time frame, what I see here is this drop happening, and then the bottom of the candle starting to get bought back up. So it's creating this bottoming wick, and this is actually a bullish candle, not a bearish one. So the 1-minute time frame looks daunting, right? That does look scary, but if you're watching it on the 5-minute time frame, you're actually realizing that the dip's getting bought, and buyers are there. Buyers are stepping in to push the stock price back up. So we go long again right here, 9:47 a.m. Took re-entry on PayPal, and I did mention it was risky, right? We had no idea, no true confirmation that this was back above the trigger level or that it was going to go, just the news catalyst backing it at this time. 108 fill price, so same contracts, almost the same exact fill price that we had earlier. We had the 109, we had the 108 this time. Small size again here, stop loss going to be 67.4, which is pretty much just the low of this drop. So the risk is mitigated. Don't follow the trade if you can't take a paper cut loss. This is not over the trigger level, and then it's just holding through from there, right? Up 10%, can take profits or hold. That is up to you. I'm holding. Sell target 130. 1 minute later, PayPal another 20%. Here's your contracts, entry, exit. I close there. 9:50 a.m. That's going to be up here. So not only did we get the 20% gain on PayPal from the entry to the exit, which is usually what I typically aim for, it was also near the high of day, and high of day can act as a potential point of resistance. So regardless of if I was up 20% or 10% or 15%, at this time I still would have been considering closing this position because, well, high of day was right there, right? Potential chance for rejection. Okay, so that's it for the PayPal trade, and this is where I did make my money on the trade. I actually, and let me mention this to you because this is a trader error. You know, I'm not perfect, but I thought I closed the full position up here, and I closed everything except for one contract. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe I just bought an extra one, or totally not sure. I thought I closed the full position up here, but I didn't. I left one contract open. And I went back later and looked, and I was like, what the heck? I'm down 13, because I can see my active P&L percentage, and I'm down 13%. I'm like, what? And turns out I did not close the full position. I had left one contract open. So I actually closed here, everything except for one, and then closed one more down here for 13% loss. But it was one contract, super minor, compared to the gains that were made on PayPal. Now let's talk about AMD. Okay, AMD. I want to look at this setup here on the daily time frame to begin. We know that it's had support in this area, 116, 117, 118 area, right? It had a hard sell and then another hard sell most recently, rejecting the recent highs. But AMD leading up to this point has really been a stock that's gotten a lot of momentum and has been making big moves. And what I saw this morning on the 5-minute time frame was this big green opening candle, massive candle right here, right? AMD, based off the day trade watch list, was a long idea above $121, as noted there. So when we get this opening candle, big green opening candle like this, I'm thinking AMD's got the moves, it's got the momentum behind it, it's going to continue up today. This is effectively what is known as a red to green move. I've made YouTube videos covering this strategy before. This is a picture perfect example of that strategy, but it didn't work. And what strategy ever works 100% of the time? This is trading, right? But the setup was there for their red to green strategy. So opened up below the previous day's closing price, breaks above the PDC, pushes up, breaks above the $121 trigger level, and then starts to pull back. Now, I did not go long on this dip because with such a big move, right, percentage-wise, 2.45% with no red candles on the 1-minute time frame, with such a big move, you're bound to have a larger pullback. So remember, the larger the move in a shorter amount of time, the larger the pullback potentially can be. So I'm not getting faked here trying to take this long on the first dip entry. For those of you that took that dip entry, remember this for next time. If you have a big move up like that, it's still considered chasing at that point. So we get the pullback further. This is all still expected. I'm not expecting it to hold the trigger on the first break, especially after that move. And this is maybe where I made a little bit of a mistake. I probably honestly should have went long here at the bottom of this candle on the dip there. I don't know if I would have gotten 20%. I might have been able to get 10%, but I hesitated and I waited for a little bit. Why? Well, I wanted to see confirmation. I wanted to see it hold the previous day's close right here as a point of support and then start to move up higher. And that's exactly what AMD did. So I went long at the trigger level thinking, you know what, this is worth it. If it's going to break out from here, AMD's got the momentum, it's got the moves, it's a cheap stock that moves very well and can get some serious power behind it. And unfortunately, just no follow through. Was unable to, after the entry, fell back below 121. I gave it time 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes here. Gave it time to try to reclaim 121. It wasn't having it. And when we got the move down lower here, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and cut this position for a 10% loss and, just eat the L. It's better to take a paper cut loss on a stock that is not, or on a trade that is not doing what you're expecting it to do right away, rather than hold and hope. And we made the right choice here. I know it was a 10% loss. I know the entry, may or may not have been as great as I wanted it to be. However, we made the right choice by cutting it at a 10% loss, because if we didn't, look, it retraced all the way back down into the low of day, and then it even fell further beyond that. So here are the time-stamped alerts for that, right? And I'm not perfect, but the risk was managed. So we'll go to the alert room, and I was kind of conducting this trade at the same time that I was managing PayPal. So AMD, let's see here. AMD took dip entry long, give you the contracts, 183 fill price, stop losses the PDC. So originally I was going to give this room all the way down to the previous day's closing price, but I changed my mind through that. AMD hard stop set at 165 for a 10% stop out. The reason why I changed my mind is just because there was so much consolidation here. I was thinking, yeah, this could be potential support. And if it fails to hold, then I don't want to get caught up in a drop further. So I'm fine with cutting the position early and then maybe re-entering later if it were to hold PDC and run up, but it didn't do that. So AMD OCO bracket set, 210 for a 15% win and 165 for 10% loss. AMD closed it out, may re-enter later, realized the 10% L there, 9:43 a.m. So that's going to be on this candle here. Okay, so that's it. Press the like button for me if you haven't done so already, by the way. But the 1K Challenge 2023, we are up 100, and on day 105, we are up $42,000. Crazy. Let me know. Should I keep going with this? I don't know when to end this challenge. I have no deadline. I was thinking maybe at just run it for the rest of the year. I was thinking maybe run it to $50,000, $100,000. I don't know. You let me know what you think. I'm definitely going to keep going. I just don't know at what point I will end. Okay, hope the video has helped you out. Thank you for your time and thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in chat. Take care.